Hello, Egypt! Yeah, so no prizes for guessing who painted this. This is the latest jpax Telecaster. I haven't even looked at the back yet. It's got numbers on it. Ooh. Yeah, so this is, I think it's one of the ones from that box, the What's in the Box, a couple of weeks ago. So I think the body was completely new. What a pig it was to build. Building guitars is annoying, especially I knew what I was getting in for with that big massive box of guitars. I was kind of hoping that the bits from those guitars would be available as well, but they weren't. There were other bits, so it's kind of things like neck plates. Looking for donations of neck plates and neck bolts, things like that. A lot of the guitars just don't have. So this one has cheers for the chips and tuners, David. It's got a humbucker. Well, it's got a P90 in it. Interesting. This is actually the pickup that's in my Shocking Bird. It was one of these that I took to bits and found out it was only a wee single coil pickup in it. So I'm wondering if it might be the very similar thing. So it's got a Tele bridge that takes a humbucker, but it's got a humbucker sized P90 in it. Takes a humbucker in the neck as well, and I've got another one of the humbucker sized P90s. These are just the ones you get. I think they're just Chinese ones, so they're probably only about 15 or 20 quid, but they're pretty good. Three-way switch, nothing really fancy. It's a thin line. Jen doesn't like thin lines. So there's a couple of thin lines kicking about. There's at least two. There's this one and there's a Transatlantic Disaster Caster. The Transatlantic Disaster Caster, the neck, it's a square neck that's on it, and it was all split and stuff and had been badly repaired, and I basically clamped it together, and it's rock solid, but it's really ugly. But that guitar was kind of painted on the plane, and I kind of like Telecasters. It's very difficult to let Telecasters away, especially being thin line. I mean, it's not really particularly loud. I mean, the thin line doesn't really do anything to the sound. It does less on this guitar. I think the Transatlantic one is hollow on the other side as well, so it is kind of sort of hollow. This one isn't. I think it's maybe this whole top bit's hollow. Anyway, so we've got P90 in the bridge. I suppose it's not like a real Tele because it's got 6 saddles, so I suppose I could just put the two middle ones together, so there's that slight discrepancy between the two to give it the real Tele sounds. There's a wee bit of a buzz somewhere around about here that I'll get to. I've no idea what this neck came from. It kind of looks like a kit one. Looks like someone's tried to stain it. They had to do quite a lot of work on the heel to make it fit. Had to get I instantly took off I had to drill holes through it. I didn't have ferrules in the back, although they're in one of Jen's boxes. I only know this because I found them about a month ago and used them. So instead, I cut a bit off you can't even see it. That's actually from a really shitty bridge plate from a Strat. See the 6 wee holes that you use to screw the bridge, normally screw on in here. I just angle grounded it off and stuck it in the back, so it's that's actually a piece of a bridge sitting in the back to take the string ends. I do actually quite like the pattern on this one. Both on. Someone's cutting it out. We just tested this because this has never been a guitar before. Signs are good though. I think this is actually, these things are wobbling, making things a bit odd. That note is just slightly just about here, giving it. There's a bit of something going on, not quite there. Anyway, it's distortion I use anyway. Rat pedal. Maybe there is a bit of a difference. I was thinking when I played it for a couple of minutes, just make sure it was working before I turned the video on. And I swapped over to a Leonard Skinner t-shirt, so because the high vis one wasn't showing up the guitar very well. But I thought the two pickups sounded too similar, but they're not really. I think the Rat pedal is a bit too much for these P90s. I fixed the tuner pedal as well, so yay! Took it to bits, which was a nightmare. I had to take the whole thing completely to bits to put a stupid screw in. So I don't think it was actually broken, and it wasn't me that broke it. Can't get used to this red light being in tune and blue being out of tune on this pedal. Red's danger! Light is green, trap is clean, you know, it's like, or blue. Maybe they're just wanting to show off the fact that they're using blue LEDs. I've no idea how old this pedal is. I've never actually seen one before. It's not the prettiest of all pedals. It's a bit of a minger actually, but it is chromatic, which is nice. I've actually got a pickup that was a little bit more about the story about this guitar. There's been an issue Jen's had with some of the primer that she's been told to use, which turns out is not a good thing. So this one, the paint comes off too easily, so she can't sell it. So it's like, oh, I don't mind if the paint comes off a bit too easily. But do I really need a P90 thin-line Telecaster? He asks knowingly. Well, do you have a thin-line Telecaster? No. Do you have a Telecaster with P90s? No, I don't. Are these real P90s? I'm still not sure. They seem very... They distort nice and early. Actually quite good for doing this sort of silly leads. I do think the F-hole needs a light bulb in it or something, or it needs to be painted white on the inside or something, because it's like one of the things that makes a Telecaster thin line interesting is, oh, it's got an F-hole in it, that's pretty cool. This one is already pure mental, so there's just too much to look at to even see it. Jen likes, I've got a thing against, see, chrome pickup rings and chrome pickups, or gold pickup rings and gold pickups. It looks crap. Okay, I have done it kind of there. That sort of idea. But in my defence with that one, that's like a sort of brushed aluminium, and it's a comedy pickup that I had to put in to hide a big hole that was already in the guitar. But apart from in that case, yuck. I don't. So this one, I'm kind of getting away with it because it's black with the chrome and chrome. But I've got a Scholler pickup in an Aria Pro through next door, which I've never found a use for. It's white. It looks like an EMG, but it's a Scholler. I'm thinking to see that in the bridge, which would kind of match this. It was Jen that wanted the white pickup ring because it goes with the art or something. So I think a white humbucker in there. So you've got the P90 in the neck, which is P90 enough? It's enough to be definitely a P90. Do you need the bridge one? It's not really that different. Incidentally, this does not sound like my Shockingbird, which I think has the same pickups in it. Unless these are kind of more... I suppose it depends what you think of what P90s should be for. I mean, we're talking about clean, and I mean, I've got them in that Gibson Les Paul I've got. They should be better for strummy. Better for strummy than what humbuckers are. Also, I've used 250k pots in this because they're single coils. I may do a wee experiment with the 500 and see if it makes a difference. Because to be honest, to me, they're not sounding as P90ish on clean as they normally do. They sound like the volume's been turned up dead high. I wonder if they're very high output P90s. See there? Just turning the volume down. But the first pedal sounds like... I normally use the fuzz pedal for crappy sounding guitars, but I do quite like it, and sometimes a guitar just looks like the sort of thing you think, oh, I've got a P90 in it and it's a thin line telly, that's going to like a fuzz pedal. Which is a bit fuzzy anyway. Makes it creamy. I thought, no, 250s take away some of the treble, don't they? That's why you want to use 500s for humbuckers, because if you use 250s to take away the treble and you end up with just mudbuckers. I wonder if the 500k pot will make a big difference to it. There's something funny finding it. I do quite like it, but it's almost like there's no dynamic range in them. I feel it should be an awful lot clearer than that. But in saying that, if you're looking at buying P90 pickups for, particularly do what I did with my Epiphone SG and think, well, it was my first real good guitar, got the Gibson one now, so I don't really need it. Well, what if I put P90s in it? Something like that, just to give you another guitar, especially if you've got like one that takes humbuckers. It's just dead easy to swap them over. So you can put P90s in your SG, acceptable for P90s, Telecasters, Strats. Nobody puts them in Strats, but Les Pauls. I've got one with actual like, full size P90s in it, and it's just. I know that was what they originally had, but something about a Les Paul, you kind of want it to have humbuckers, don't you? Also, saying this is a thin line. It's not actually thinner than a normal telly. I'm not sure, but I've seen a few Japanese ones, and they are thinner, which would make more sense at being a thin line. Like thin line, it means it's got an F on it. I think thin lines are actually smaller. They're thinner guitars, hence the thin line name. Just thin line and lightweight because they've got this F hole in them. I wonder if drawn around the edge of the F hole with something would make it stick out a little bit more. Telecasters are just such comfortable guitars though. Especially I quite like this one is a wee bit relicked, or it'll relic quite easily because the paint's not sticking to it properly. I also nearly went to buy a Telecaster yesterday. It might still be on Facebook Marketplace for an Encore Blaster series. It's in Edinburgh though for 30 quid, and it's like, oh, a wee Telecaster. I like a wee Telecaster. I like a wee Telecaster that's just a Telecaster. This one has got a crazy paint job. It's a thin line, which for no reason other than, and it's got P90s in it, but it's got P90s and it's got the proper Telecaster bridge with a P90 in it, so that must count as more than. And my Schecter's the same, but you know normally when you get that's the Deluxe. That's the Deluxe. The Custom has two of these wide range humbuckers in it, but they're it's just got like a normal hardtail bridge. It doesn't have the surround that takes the pickup the way this one does, which is all about the tone. And this would be an amazing. This is a guitar everyone should have in their first guitar. It's so easy to play. So this is a proper Telecaster neck as well. It's kind of wide and feels like a Telecaster. Not that I'm getting against ones that have got thinner necks or just in any way slightly different. So I don't know, do I like the bridge pickup enough? Time to have a wee look at the Shocking Bird series. It has what I reckon does exactly the same pickup in it. I'm just assuming that these things were cheap, and I'm assuming that the ones that were in my Washburn A10, which are, as I said, that one. I've still got the other one kicking about, but it's got a black coil. I like partly, I'll be honest, part of the reason I like that one is because it's white. So I'm just thinking. So that should be the bridge pickup. I don't think the Shocking Bird's ever been wireless before. I doubt the Shocking Bird's in tune. That's too much to ask. There's nothing like it, is it? This guitar's amazing! It's just got so much more twang to it. Because the action's pure low as hell. But actually, listening to it, I think that a lot of that's coming off the guitar itself. It's very different to a Telecaster. It's also Gibson scale length. But I'm just, again, these humbucker sized P90s, if that's what's in them, that's fine. But I wanted to know that before I would have bought a set, because if I'm buying a humbucker sized pickup, I want the coil to be the size. You know, a P90 is the size it is. It's a big coil, whereas that's just a normal humbucker coil. The only difference is it's mounted in the middle of the base plate. You know, in these. And okay, it's probably it's got a, you know, a different magnet on it, and it's wound differently, but still. So I mean, I think I'm going to have to concede that this is a P90 in this. Doesn't sound like a Telecaster anyway. I think actually one of the things that might be really make this guitar so amazing is the frets are so low, because it was obviously completely knackered before I pulled it out of a bin. So I've leveled the frets to, they're not completely low, but they're really low, like like the way a Les Paul Custom should be, I suppose, unless maybe they were accurate with it. Yeah, no selling this. That's no. That's a no. That's a special guitar for sure. Also, it's not worth any money, so I couldn't sell it. So. This guitar's really good as well, though. But this is, again, coming up to every time I play the Shocking Bird. I did buy, when I was in China, a dog-eared P90 to put in the neck of that, a gold one. And I've still never done it. And so this is what the sound would be, I suppose, kind of. This guitar does sound very different to that, though. Although I think it might be the same pickup. There's definite characteristics, but the actual guitar, maybe something to do with being hollow. Probably quite a lot to do with the scale length. And the fact that it's Shocking Bird as well. Also, the Shocking Bird's got the most amazing feeling neck. It's like, as I said, I got it out of my pal's bin. And I never really bothered sanding it properly, but I just painted it red because it was red spray paint that I had. And then lots of coats, and then buffed it so it's kind of really smooth but still really textured. It's an interesting feel. I like it. It's just so textured. So the problem with this one was, James, I don't want to paint it again. It's one of the best ones she's done. I think it looks amazing. You know, obviously, again, you don't get to see the colour in these things in one of my videos. They are there. There's a bit of the armpit shot there. It's not meant to be my armpit. Yeah. Not sure if I like the black knobs. They're kind of alright. I'm just reeling a little bit from having a little bit too much chrome here. Although I did find actually brass saddles, and when I was looking for the ferrules for the back of this, maybe something like that would be quite cool. There is a lot to be done. See, if you think about, I'll just buy myself a wee kit guitar. I had to do a lot of things to this to make it work. It wasn't if you're going to try and do a wee moddy thing yourself, buy a whole guitar. Don't buy bits and try and stick them together. Don't buy an unused neck. Make sure you've got everything, because I mean, I had to belt sand the neck to make it fit, change the pocket, route bits of the pickups out, drill holes all the way through to take the other bridge, enlarge the pickup cavity. I had to make a 5-way switch into a 3-way switch, because I didn't have a 3-way switch. What else did I have to do? Stupid stuff. Just like find another black knob, because one of the ones I got was wrong. But it's never quite as easy. It's not like Lego. It is if you buy Warmouth parts. If you spend £400 on a neck and £200 on a body, they'll fit together really pretty well. But if you're buying any sort of kit or any sort of, it's a really bargain neck there, £30 from China, just expect a little bit of work. I'm still not there with the frets of this aren't actually bad. I've just noticed it was a wee bit busy there, but that could be maybe just, I've not really finished setting up with a guitar like this. There's nothing in the truss rod either, but you don't know how long is this not. Was this guitar ever played before? Not as a piece. The body's never been used, but all these things vibrate and tension up and get used to it in the neck. I'm not touching the truss rod yet because it's probably never been in tension before, so maybe you'll find that it will start pulling. The neck's probably just straight from being brand new. But all signs are good for this being a classic. This would be an amazing guitar for download or something, but again, it's worth £500, isn't it? Or something, something making it not the guitar that you want to have just lying in the boot of your car, especially if the paint's going to come off it. But I do still just want. I don't have one. I just want a wee shite telly, just like the basic one. The problem is, as soon as you get a wee shite telly, I start putting other bits on it just because I like it. One of the ones, the best telly I ever had was a Harrier, and I got it for £9 at the Barras. All it needed was a scratch plate, and I had one. It was a wee red, really cheap as chips telly, and it was fucking brilliant. Just what a stunning wee guitar that was. Eventually sold it to my pal Michael. I can't remember what I charged for it. Not very much. He knew I'd paid a tenner for it, or £9. I think it was. I think the strings were £1. Yeah. I could use this no problem. I've kind of got used to the sound being a little bit compressed and sort of a little bit mushier. But that's not a bad thing. It's a slightly different thing. Yeah, great thing for like for a learner's guitar, something like this. This is what all beginner's guitars should be. F-hole optional, but a couple of P90s giving you a bit of the humbucker, bit of the rock, but still having a bit of the creamy in them. Still sort of got a single coily sound. Also, Jen's talking about having a guitar, trying to talk her out of it. The idea of having a guitar, there'll just be the one, I'll just play the one guitar for me, and it's like, you've got hundreds of them. Really, having lots of different guitars means that you can change between lots of different guitars dead easily. Whereas if you only ever play your Thinline Telecaster, when you get a Strat, it's like, oh, it's a different shape, and it's like, just deal with that and always be used to it. Same with, like, I was driving a car. I actually sat the driving test that I passed, the third one. The guy's car had an accident the day before. It was a hire car. It was a completely different car, and the gears were all in different places. But you just deal with it. That's just basically having different types of guitar. It's nice to have, especially someone who's got the option for it. And also, if having jams, you should be playing the one that's for sale, which is after a telly, and it's like, why are tellies so good? I could do a wee bit of work on these, but I don't know whether this one will sell or not. People want it. It's like, well, if you like scrape it with a knife, you could probably kind of scrape the paint off. But if you did that with like a nitrocellulose guitar, it would do that anyway. I mean, there's no way I would ever let Jen test to see if the paint's coming off that. You just stick the thumbnail in and rubbing it like, it's pretty brutal. And it also kind of being a wee bit scuffed, and it would relic up naturally rather than actually properly, getting sandpaper out, which always looks like you've had sandpaper out. Something like this would wear, and it would still be super psychedelic. It's a nice solid piece of wood as well. That's quite a nice light wee guitar. So jpax, I don't know what number this one is, but it's an awesome guitar. Again, it might be worth more money because it's fragile. So, my God, the back is very, isn't it? It kind of looks better at a distance. Up close, it's a little bit mind-bendy. No idea what's going on. It's a lot of grey in it. You see all of it. Yep, so, again, I don't really know. Do I want to keep this one? No, obviously, I want to keep all of them. But this one seems awfully nice. If she's not really wanting to sell it, would I rather have this than the Transatlantic Disaster Caster? I'd say would I gig it? I'd love to gig this. But it'd be a guy with a psychedelic Telecaster, and how is it a cooler guitar? I think it would be cooler if it had the white Scholler pickup in it, because it would match it, and then I'd maybe put white jazz bass knobs on it or something like that. So I'll play this, I'll play the Shocking Birds for the rest of the day. Rock on!